Good morning and welcome back to Margin. This morning we're going to talk about whether the home is the American dream. So let's jump right into it. So with everything that has transpired over the last year, we have seen a strange phenomenon amongst many, of course, but that which is homeownership and a surge in people's interest in being homeowners and at a level that we haven't necessarily seen in our lifetime. Now, besides stating the obvious, why did the home demand surge far beyond what most would consider being reasonable over the last year, especially being that we had great concerns over a bubble or a market correction even before everything transpired over the last year. Now, there's a resource reported by Case-Shiller on the U.S. National Home Price Index. Now, this is by the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis, which shows a massive increase of 217 as a index in May of 2020 that has surged to 244 in May of 2021. Now, this index tracks the sales price of single-family homes in the US. Now, most of us can probably agree that a double-digit increase year over year is unsustainable, but how much of this is actually a supply issue due to higher than expected demand? Now, demand is especially high due to people wanting to spread out and have space amidst government-enforced stay-at-home orders, and this has caused also inventory to be low as fewer owners are willing to sell in the inflated market and therefore have to buy back into the same market unless they're displaced and have to move to a different state, different city for a job or something like that. However, at the current growth rate, how are Americans able to keep up with purchasing when incomes are relatively stagnant? And the answer is more linked to lower interest rates, allowing for greater buying power by consumers. So according to Seeking Alpha, I found an interesting statement that they had made. And in that statement was that the affordability surge of demand after May 2020 has fueled rising prices for new homes, which have rapidly risen 5x of the median household income in January 2021. Now, that has only gotten worse in the last 6 months, but having affordability being 5 times that of the median household income means that a household income of $60,000 would be purchasing a $300,000 home. So basically that's the equivalent of what you're looking at and how much people are spending based on their household incomes. Now, if this was the only area of concern, the only area experiencing inflation, that would be one thing. But sharply increasing housing costs paired with stagnant incomes makes for owning a part of the American dream challenging to many Americans. So in this theme, we're going to discuss shelter. We're going to discuss this topic and looking at the investment that you make for a roof over your head. Now, we're also going to look at the protection of that investment, reinvesting to renovate and remodel that home or that space, as well as the cost of capital, utilities, and ways to lessen the burden associated with high housing costs that most people are experiencing right now. The purpose of this is to help encourage you to become educated in the purchase, the maintenance, and sale of what is most likely the most expensive purchase you'll make in your life. Now, your home is typically the largest budget item in most people's budgets. So being sure that you are thinking through the purchase to ensure that you have evaluated your needs and how the dwelling actually meets the needs that you have is especially important. Beyond just knowing whether your dwelling meets the needs that you have, it's also important to know how much you are and should be spending on that space. So sometimes this aspect in particular can cause issues, as there is so much competing information in how much of your income you should be spending on your utilities, on your insurance, your taxes, your repairs, your HOA fees, and other components that could potentially go into the purchase, the upkeep, and the eventual sale of your home. So my call to action today is to think about your living situation. Think about where you currently live geographically, the neighborhood that you are in, the type of home or dwelling that you are in, and what you pay in order to live in that space. If this information is helpful to you, please do like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're reminded to come back on a daily basis and improve in managing your personal finances. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.